Today, we're going to be doing a super quick, beginner-friendly core workout. It's gonna be a circuit style, so there's gonna be 4 different exercises that we're gonna do in order, and we're gonna repeat that list of exercises 3 times. We're gonna be doing each exercise for 30 seconds on, with 15 seconds to rest and transition into the next move. These are beginner-friendly exercises, but I will give you modifications to make it either a little bit easier or make it a little bit more challenging for yourself. The name of the game here is to go at your own pace and do what feels good for you. So this core workout is going to be great to do either on its own or at the end of another strength or cardio workout. We're not really gonna warm up much before we do this one, but if you feel like you need to warm up a little bit, then feel free to jog around on the spot or march for a few seconds before you begin. Now, we are going to be doing 4 different core exercises. We're going to be working for 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We're gonna run through that list of exercises 3 times. So you're gonna end up doing 3 sets of each exercise. I'm gonna demonstrate each exercise before we begin, but the 4 exercises that we're doing today are the dead bug, bicycle crunch, bird dog, and a modified plank. All right, so to start, we're going to be doing the dead bug. We're going to be down on our back on the mat. So with the dead bug, it takes a little bit of coordination because you're going to be moving your opposite arm and leg at the same time. The name of the game here is to pull your belly button in towards your spine and think about keeping your back nice and flat on the floor. So what you're going to do is bring your knees and your arms up. And then what you're gonna do, while really trying to focus on pulling your belly button down, is extend the opposite arm and leg. And you're gonna alternate. You wanna make sure that you're breathing and pulling that belly button down to the floor the whole time. We don't wanna rush through it, slower the better. All right, move number 2, you've probably seen this one before, it's a bicycle crunch. You're gonna stay down here on your back, and again, I want you thinking about pulling your belly button down to the floor. This time, what we're gonna be doing is bringing our elbow across our body towards our opposite knee. So level 1 will be to have your feet bent on the floor. Level 2 would be to have your feet off the floor. But you wanna think again about bringing that shoulder or elbow across the body to that opposite knee, okay? For move number 3, we're gonna flip over. So remember, we're only gonna have 15 seconds between moves, so we're gonna have to move kind of quickly. But here, we're gonna be on all 4s, so it's kind of like the opposite of the dead bug. So again, I wanna think about pulling my belly button up and in towards my spine. And very similarly, we're gonna reach and extend through the opposite arm and leg, really thinking about drawing that belly button in, keeping that core nice and tight, keeping your body nice and square the whole time. All right, and our 4th move is gonna be a modified plank. So level 1 will be to do this from your knees. Now what we really wanna think about and work towards is having a nice full extension through your hip. So we don't really wanna be bent through our hip, we want a nice extension. And again, we want you thinking about pulling your belly button in towards your spine. So you're gonna have your hands stacked underneath your shoulders in a push-up position, zipping your belly button in, nice full extension in the hips, and we're just gonna hold it here. And it seems like it might be easy, but it shouldn't be easy. I want you really actively pulling your belly button up and in, all right? And if you wanna level it up, you can try and get up onto your feet, all right? Let's get to it. All right, get ready. We're starting with dead bug, okay? So remember, we're working for 30 seconds and then resting and transitioning for 15. Go at your own pace, take breaks when you need it. All right, here we go. So nice and smooth and controlled. Again, really thinking about pulling that belly button down to the floor. Extending opposite arm and leg. Takes a little bit of focus and concentration. Keep going, we got 10 more seconds. So if you need to modify, you could even just hold it here and really think about pulling that belly button to the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, rest. Again, we've got about 10 or 15 seconds before we start again. It's bicycle crunch, all right? So again, we want to pull that belly button and lower back to the floor. elbow come across the body to the opposite knee. Ready? Let's go. So, just a nice gentle rotation through that core, making sure that you're exhaling every time you're twisting. Make sure you're not holding your breath, all right? Exhale every single rep. So feet on the floor or legs extended off the floor. Belly button pulled down. Keep going. We got 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Starting to feel it, hey? Okay, let's flip over now. Next one is bird dog, all right? So on all fours, thinking about zipping that belly button up and in. Nice neutral spine. Reach and extend. Actively drawing that belly button in. Requires a little bit of balance and coordination again. But again, actively drawing that belly button in, trying to keep your hips and upper body square to the floor, making it nice and smooth and controlled. You got 3 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, our last move for round 1 is that modified plank. So get into that push-up position. So hands are stacked right underneath your shoulders. If this bothers your wrists a little bit, you can always roll your mat up. All right, here we go. Time is on. So you're on your knees. Remember, you can go on your toes to make it a little bit more challenging. But what I want you to work towards is that extension through your hips and pulling that belly button in. Squeeze your glutes a little bit here too, okay? It should be difficult. Keep going, you got 10 seconds. Keep squeezing it. If you want to try it, try getting up on those toes even for a few seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, now you know what to expect. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So let's quickly flip over onto our back. All right, here we go. Pull that belly button to the floor, anchor your back to the floor, and here we go. Now, if at any point, any of the moves don't feel right, maybe you're not sure if you're doing them right, maybe it's aggravating your lower back or creating some tension in your body, my recommendation would be to modify it with a different core exercise that works a little bit better for you. Couple more seconds. Last one. There we go. Woo! Okay, relax for a second. We've got that bicycle crunch. Now, you can alternate between the 2 different variations. Try it out, right? You don't know unless you try it. Are you ready? Belly button in, back glued to the floor. Here we go, bicycle crunch. So this would be the more challenging variation. And if you want to, you can stay here and keep that back on the floor. Or those feet on the floor, I should say. Keep going. Every time you crunch up, exhale. And you know what, maybe you're not making it all the way. Maybe you're going half of the way. That's okay too. As long as you're really thinking about pulling that belly button in. Woo, okay. Let's get up, flip it around. Remember, if you need a little bit more time, always just hit that pause button, and then when you're ready, you jump right back into it. All right, on all fours, belly button zipped up and in. Let's reach. So I want you to squeeze that glute just a little bit. Reach. Make it really nice and smooth and controlled. All right, so we're not just going with the motion, we're trying to make it active. So think about the muscles that you're working. Think about your form. Think about controlling the movement. So really keep fighting to keep that belly button in. And if you're struggling with that, you could always just hold it here and really just think about keeping your core nice and tight. Okay, move number 4 is that modified plank. All right, are you ready? So you might be here today with a little bit of a bend in your hips. That's okay, time is on. All right, so if this is kind of where you're at today, that's okay, but what I want you to gradually work towards is getting that extension through the hips, okay? Thinking about pulling that belly button in nice and tight, squeezing your glutes. Remember, anytime you're doing any kind of exercise on your hands, if you're finding that it's bothering the palms of your hands or your wrists, it can be helpful to just roll that mat up. Okay, keep pulling it in. You need to let it go for a second and then tighten it back up. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, are you starting to feel it? I hope so. We have one more round of that, and then you're done, all right? Here we go, let's get on our back. We're gonna do that dead bug one more time. This is a really, really great exercise. Okay, here we go. Belly button is in, back is pressed to the floor. Now, one of my favorite variations of this move is if you have one of those big, giant exercise balls at home, you know, those big stability balls. I love doing these with one of those. So I would be pressing into that ball with my hands and my knees and trying to hold that ball there while doing the movement. It's a killer. Okay, bicycle crunch is next. So remember, the name of the game here is to engage your core and use your breath for each rep. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. So remember, this is your third and final set of these exercises. So make it count. You're going at your own pace. You're thinking about pulling that belly button in, and you're exhaling every time you bring that knee up. Remember, if you can't quite make it to your knee, that's fine. But still think about those muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 2 more moves, and then you're out of here. So flip over. We've got that bird dog. Now, I know this move seems kind of basic, but that's where we really want to think about what we're doing. Keep it nice and slow, keep it nice and controlled. Here we go. So that belly button is pulled in nice and tight. Squeeze the glute on that leg that you're extending and really continue to draw that belly button up and in. So remember, gravity is trying to pull our abdominals down to the floor. So we're resisting that force by using our muscles and pulling them up and in. Last one. All right, we have one more move, and it's that plank. And it basically works because of what I just said. Gravity, right? Gravity is trying to pull our body to the floor. We need to tighten it up and engage our muscles to fight that force. Here we go, this is the last one. Time is on. Hands are stacked right underneath your shoulders. Really try and work towards that full hip extension. Make sure you're not letting your hips sag down. That causes compression through your lower back, and it doesn't feel that good. So you're better off having a small bend in your hips and keeping that core nice and tight. Keep breathing, try and breathe. You got 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job. So if you need a quick little stretch after the core, you could do a little side bend. That'll be nice for your obliques. You could do a nice little quick child's pose. This always feels really great, but it's gonna take a little bit of that tension out of your lower back. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that workout. We have lots of other amazing workouts in our exercise video library, so I hope that you check those out sometime soon. We'll see you again.